Jalen Hurts. I think we're live. I think we're here.
Live. Welcome
Sunday
to
night
another
football.
beautiful Sunday of boring football.
There could be worse games. There could be much better games. At least it ended on a entertaining note with the pick six there, right?
That's true. Yeah, it did liven up a little bit, but man, that was a struggle to get through that first quarter.
Yes,
that was.
Yep, it's almost 10 o'clock Eastern too. Like it just kept dragging and dragging. Like it wasn't a fun first half to watch or to bet on, for that matter.
That first quarter was awful. I mean, it looked like it was awful conditions.
Dragging.
The weather was terrible that first quarter, but oh man, that was tough to watch. I almost fell asleep in the middle of that one. Riding a high from the Eagles game, almost fell asleep right there on the couch.
Right there on the couch, riding a high. You've got a number 2 jersey on.
Yes, sir.
For Jalen Hurts now, but
it's Jalen Hurts. But yeah, my man David Akers.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, love him.
Jalen Hurts inherited the number. We're looking at, for this game, over under 24 in the second half. We're at 16 total points right now. We struggled to get to 16. Mm-hmm. It was only 10 up until that pick six. I think there was pass interference on the pick six. I also am not sure that the extra point was missed. Now, the ball went over, and we probably don't need to rehash it too much because kickers have had some hell of a day right now. Yeah. But I don't know that he missed that extra point. But either way, we're at an over-under 24. Bills favored in the second half, minus a half, plus 113. I don't know, man. The second half plays, as we all know, have not been great. But this is kind of one of those games where it's like, how do they get to over 24 in the second half?
Dude, I mean – you can't see it happening, right? But then again, like you said, these halftime plays have been cursed. But
maybe it starts snowing a little bit again, and maybe they slow the. I mean,
can we get
you could slow the game down, I guess, a little bit by running it.
If they do that, we might get cement on the field.
If you slow it down anymore, I'm going to stop watching. I think a lot of people might have stopped watching this game. Like, it's supposed to be record-wise two of the best teams in the NFL. You've got 9-3 versus 11-1. I know the Steelers were undefeated. I feel like the Steelers were trying to lose, not trying to lose, but like we're working their way towards a loss for a few weeks, and it finally happened. Mm-hmm. And they might be working their way towards a second loss here. Who knows?
Who the hell knows? But they're slowly doing something. But so are the Bills. I mean, you don't have that one big play from the Bills, and this is still a steamroller slowly inching down the hallway.
Agreed. You could look at a team total here. You could just look at straight under 24, and I think that might be where I'm at. Just do straight under 24. I don't need to, play mind games and convince myself that it should go under 24 in the second half. I'm just going to do under 24. And if it goes over, I mean, hell, man, if we get 27 points in the second half for what I just watched, we barely got to 16. We barely got to 10.
I mean,
we're
just
doing
limped
24.
our way to it. I'm with you on that. I think that's an over-under.
I'm trying to pull up a couple other sites too to see what their over-unders for the second half. My browsers are shitting, so I'm going to pull up the phone real quick here. But to see what Bovada has.
So Bovada is under 23.5 for the second half, which I'd probably still take that.
Yes.
Anything on FanDuel? Anything interesting on FanDuel right now?
On FanDuel, they have 39.5, so 16, 23.5. So 24 is your best number at Bookmaker. 23.5 is fine too.
Yeah, why not? So I think that's it, right? Yeah, I mean, I can't see this game. I can't see an onslaught of scoring at all at this game. You'll see a couple more deep passes from Allen, but
that are probably going to go incomplete.
Yeah, exactly, or get swatted away, or it's not going to happen.
I'm starting to wonder about Josh Allen in primetime games. I mean, he hasn't had a lot. He had that playoff game last year, and we know that it was pretty inaccurate. He had that Tuesday night game, which counts as primetime, the COVID reschedule. I think this is going back almost 2 months now, but he didn't look good in that game. That was maybe his worst game of the season against KC. It was raining. I know it's cold, but look, he's been in Buffalo for a few years now. He knows the cold weather. I'm starting to wonder a little bit, but we'll see what happens second half. That said, he's playing one of the top defenses in the NFL, so it's hard to hold it against him too much. But eventually, Josh Allen's going to need to come up in that big moment. who knows if it's tonight? They could use a win tonight, get to, I guess it would be 10-3 in the playoffs. I'm curious to see what happens.
Yeah, this is going to be this is going to be banging into each other for the rest of this game. Buffalo, I think they have a shot, but the Steelers are going to roll through again. Coming off that loss last weekend, they're just going to take it over. I think they're going to play Steelers football. Both of these teams are accustomed to cold, shitty games. I think they're going to prevail.
That's what we have, a boring ass game. I was hoping that it'd be a little bit more, hyped up a little bit. I don't know why the Steelers just don't pass the ball every play. Like they
have options.
Points added per play. Passing the ball has been good. Running the ball, it's just slow as hell and ugly. Total points, the Steelers are at 19.5, Bills at 21.5. I say just don't even get tricky. Just take your second half under 24.
Yep.
24 was at Bookmaker. FanDuel has 23.5. Bet Online, I didn't check there, but they probably have a 23.5 or a 24 also. DraftKings, check them also. A lot of times I find some of the best lines at DraftKings, and I can pull that up if you want to take us into whatever you want to talk about next. Could be Eagles, could be tomorrow night's game. Ravens, Browns is pretty damn good Monday Night Football game.
Well, I mean, I guess as a homer, I have to go Eagles a little bit, but then, after that, I'll follow up with asking, what do you thought was the wildest game of the weekend? I've got a couple candidates, but to me, first thing I'll say, Jalen Hurts, a nice little outing for his first time out there, running 20 miles an hour and stuff like that, as we were discussing.
106 rush yards.
Pretty wild, man. He looked good. It was refreshing. Now, first game out there, did he get the bump because his first official start as a pro? Who knows? But he looked good. It was enthusing to see as an Eagles fan. This could be characteristic Philadelphia football where Giants lose, Eagles win with a new darling quarterback, and then dagger in our hearts 2 weeks from now, which it probably will be. But
hey, he looked more decisive than Wentz has looked. Wentz looked very indecisive. He just looked like he's been stuck in the weeds, stuck in the corn stalks. He's just kind of looking around like, I don't know how to get out of this, and he doesn't know how to get out of it.
Lost in his own head behind the line. I mean, you see him you can see him thinking as he was trying to pull things together. Now, the other thing I thought was interesting was his choice of eye black patches on the sidelines.
Yeah. Still
I know
keep it going.
The glare off the play sheet can get pretty rough, but I don't know if we need eye black for that.
I don't know if we need that either. I think you start Hurts next week and Hurts probably for the rest of the season. And then they have some tough decisions to make. In terms of biggest shocker of the day, I would say the Eagles winning. I mean, I didn't expect the Eagles to win that game. Saints were the number one seed in the NFC right now. I mean, going into today, Vegas odds were Chiefs versus Saints for the Super Bowl. That still definitely could happen. Yeah. I'm not a big Taysom Hill guy, but they started to move the ball and have some success once they realized, hey, all these guys in the secondary, Slay is out, Maddox is out. We can move the ball, throw the ball downfield. Hill has a deep ball. I'm not going to call it a good deep ball, not accurate, but all you got to do is throw it and then pull it down. So he got it done. Eagles held on. That was probably the biggest shocker of the week. I think we're going to see Jalen Hurts against Arizona next week. I think it's Arizona I saw favored by 5.5. Early lean there would be Eagles. I'm not sold on the Arizona Cardinals. I mean, I'm not sold on the Eagles either, but I could see that being a 3-point game. Yeah. Tennessee handled business 31-10, had them in a teaser too. What I think is really interesting, Kansas City, they've won now, I don't know how many games in a row they've won, but they've won 5 in a row without covering the spread. Like the last time they covered the spread was week 8.
It's almost like they're pulling off the throttle a little bit when they're winning. They're just like, you know what, we'll save the juice to the end of the season.
It's interesting, and it's like, when is that going to catch them? Like, we expected the Steelers to drop one eventually, and I'm not like, the Chiefs are playing in another stratosphere, I think, compared to the Steelers. Two very different teams. I'd be eager to see them match up, although we have two teams that are, should be doing different things and match up kind of interesting tonight. And so far, it's just boring as shit. But the Chiefs are on a different level. But yeah, to your point, it's like, what happens when they're up in these games? I mean, they went from down 10-7, and I was taking apart a desk trying to get ready for another desk being delivered probably in the snow tomorrow.
Very nice.
And I come downstairs and went from 10-7 to the Chiefs had scored 3 touchdowns like right before half and then 2 right after halftime. I was like, what the hell happened?
They could just turn it up. They're just like, all right, let's go full throttle for a second. And
then throttle down. And then in the end of the game, they get done what they need to get done. Like if they need a first down or two, because Miami came back in that game and Miami made it a game.
That's either a wildly confident program or a program that's heading for a disaster. And I think it's wildly confident.
Oh, definitely. Definitely. They're going to be a very tough out. I want to see them match up against a team that can run the ball really well in the playoffs. I think Chiefs-Titans rematch would be a great rematch of the AFC Championship game. Will the Titans get to the AFC Championship? I don't know. I think number one clearly is the Chiefs. After that, it's tough to put the Bills and the Steelers in there tonight. Steelers have an awesome defense. Titans are there. We'll see what the Ravens do. Can't count them out yet, right? I mean, they're playing tomorrow night and playing for their lives. The Browns are 9-3. Should we take them seriously? I don't know.
Baker, he's got some awesome commercials on TV, so I'm on the side.
I mean, if they win this tomorrow, and I don't think they're going to win this, I bet the Ravens already at -1. They're up to -3. I haven't made a ton of bets this weekend, a few teasers here and there. Most of my bets have won this weekend, except I did have the Saints in a couple that fell. But hey, it was for a Jalen Hurts win.
That's a good fall. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, right. So
that's a good sacrifice. Right? So thank you for making that sacrifice to the gods so we could win. Exactly.
I
will say there's a few scores here that stood out to me this weekend of being shocking. The Bears, 36-7 over the Titans. The Bears
didn't see that coming. Didn't really give a shit, but I didn't see that coming. Right?
Just like that amount of points from the Bears this season seems fucking crazy. The Cowboys posting 30. Andy Dalton must have got his prayer on last night or something.
Andy Dalton revenge game against the Cincinnati Bengals. There you go. Absolutely. Not in prime time in a revenge spot. He's going to do things. I didn't watch a lot of that game, but I saw a couple Zeke runs, a couple. I think couple touchdowns, defensive touchdown. Yeah.
I saw a couple of them on the red zone cross it, but it looked like that was a hefty working over. But the one that's really killing me, and I don't know why it's killing me because it's the goddamn Jets, if you will. But
yes,
to lose by 37, like. Come on. I had them in a teaser. They were getting 25 points. Like, how do you, at the beginning of the day, say to yourself, okay, this team's going to get 25 points, and then look at yourself and say, you know what, that might not happen.
Dude, they're unbettable. They are unbettable.
Unreal. I'm officially done. I should have been done with it a while. I was just trying to catch some fire today, but
yeah.
God damn, that sucks.
They're on my unbettable list. Like, honestly, the only thing that we should be betting on them and the Bengals is team total unders. Like, just take team total unders. I think the Bengals have been a few weeks in a row. The Jets last week, they did something against the Raiders, and they almost won the game until they called a cover 0 and then blew the game. Maybe on purpose. Maybe they fired the coach just to save face, but they're unbettable unless you're taking these unders.
Yeah, I think I'm doing a lot of hard research here to find an obvious fucking angle, you know?
And that might be it. Like, just have a discussion on our podcast this week of just what to hit. And it might be certain teams are always, humming away. Kansas City Chiefs are always going team total over. Their team total over hit again today. I mean, some weeks they're lined at like 31.5 appropriately, but they put up a 33 spot against a really good Miami defense who turned the ball over 3 times. I mean, Mahomes threw 3 interceptions. I mean, that doesn't happen that often.
Yeah, and I saw multiple people before the game saying this could potentially go to the Dolphins. The Dolphins were a solid enough squad to take this from the Chiefs.
You would expect Mahomes coming into the game only with, was it 1 interception or 2? I think he had 2 interceptions. For him to throw more than his season total in the game, you would expect Miami to definitely cover the spread. They did, but to be there outright. And they were barely there. They inched back, like we said. The Chiefs have been letting teams back in, but take a look at Miami. I mean, it's not a sure shot for them to make the playoffs, but if they get into the playoffs, they could be a tough out first round. I think it's going to come down to them in Baltimore for that 7 seed. Big game for Baltimore tomorrow.
Yeah, absolutely.
Second half is firing up here. I hope, here's the thing. We already had a shitty first half, and we have the under in the second half. So if this thing just wants to grind, and I just kind of half pay attention, half do God knows what else with my life right now.
Really anything else.
I'm fine.
I might even learn how to knit during the second half.
We can roll it over to tomorrow night, Monday Night Football. Good game. We have two Saturday games next week. I'm up for doing live streams as much as I'm around drinking whatever around the house on a Saturday, holidays. Perhaps we'll even be together. It's been a while since we've hung out, I think.
Yes,
so
sir.
maybe we just do it in person next week. There's 2 games. They're not that good of games, but who gives a shit?
Yeah. Hey, I mean, it's football on a Saturday. It means we're in the holiday season, and it's a time to, I guess responsibly hang out with each other because we
COVID
can't have,
responsible. Can't have more than 10 people in a place right now.
Hey, forced company, brother.
Yeah, right. I will hang out with you because you're part of my bubble.
Let's do it. Let's bubble it up.
Let's bubble it up to an under 24. If this gets over, I'm gonna.
Before we leave here, I just have to release the gas on this one here. The Chargers getting swiped off the deck last week, 45-0, correct?
Yeah, and then winning.
Then come back and beat the Falcons.
Yeah.
Just go ahead and fuck yourself, right?
Yeah. And guess who plays on Thursday Night Football? The Chargers. The Chargers Raiders. Not a good game, but I'll tell you what, that might be a little bit more entertaining than this game. It might have some more offense.
Yeah, it'll be a little more electric for sure.
Probably have like a little minor league college Thursday night feel to it, but I'm all for that because this right now I'm like, okay, like if this was a playoff game, I think I'd respect it a little bit more. Right now I'm just like, I don't know, week 14, I need a little bit more, just a little bit more juice, a little bit more mojo here. But all right, under 24 it is. Let's get one of these rare victories and start a winning streak.
Let's try.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Dutch.
All right, my man.
I'll see you real soon.
You got it. It's been a pleasure.
Get a W.
Winners.